Okay, so this morning I want to talk to you guys about best practices, and one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people are making, they're taking the best practices from the platforms Facebook and Google and they're taking it like gospel, right? When you should really be taking it with a huge grain of salt. Because here's the thing, let's just take Facebook for example. You're talking about best practices for over 6 million advertisers around the world, across every vertical, across all the countries with different cultures, different languages, different objectives, and businesses in different stages, right? That's a lot to cover in best practice. So when you're thinking about it, I think a lot of people are going in and they're just going in way too confident. This is best practice. This is what I read. This is what I heard somebody say. I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket. And they're just spending way too much money testing this out. So go a little slower on that and test it out in stages. And the other thing is this. I played poker once with somebody who was really highly ranked on PokerStars, managed to make, I didn't lose all my money. I kept $2. That's about it. I made $2. But his strategy when you're talking to him at the end was, you know, he's really trying to zig when everybody else is zagging. And the thing about best practices is you're doing the opposite. You're going with the flow. So one of the other tips that I wanted to give you this morning was, don't just do what everybody else is doing. Seems common sense, right? But the other thing is optimize for people, not algorithms. So here's an example. You hear that a lot of the brands in the beauty space, for example, are starting to get into 7-second video ads, and you think that's the thing that you've got to go in and do now. The trouble with that is a lot of these brands are getting away with that because they've spent the last 10, 20, 30 years advertising to you. TV, newspaper, any other kind of medium you can think of. They've been advertising to your mother and her mother before that, and you've been talking about this brand, whether you can really remember it or not, for the last couple of years, right? So you know it and you understand it. If you're a new brand trying to come into the market and tell everybody what you're all about within 7 seconds, it's not necessarily going to work for you, right? So take, for example, some client examples that we have. We've got clients who are putting out 45-minute live videos because they convert better than anything else. You talk to somebody about how long a video should be, nobody's going to recommend that it's 45 minutes long, right? But this is converting the best for them. Within 45 minutes, they can talk about the product and demonstrate it to you in a way that it just shows you the effectiveness of the product and gets you ready and willing to buy it. Or the client whose website looks like it was created 10 years ago from a web dev who was just getting out of school, right? It looks really homegrown, really basic, but it captivates what this brand is all about. And it shows you that this is a homegrown brand that you want to support. You don't think they're a big corporate, you don't think they're a big business, you want to check it out, you want to help them out. When this particular brand redid their website to look slick like everybody else, right? They stopped zagging when everybody else was zigging. They went with the flow and they redid their site to look like everybody else's. It was slick, it was smooth, it looked good. Their website conversion rates plummeted. It was so bad that they had to go back to the old site. So that's just something for you all to think about, right? Optimize for people, not algorithms. Take best practices with a pinch of salt and really just think about what is that experience like for the person on the other end of the screen. You know, too often we get stuck in the data of like, what is my click-through rate? What is my cost per click? What are these conversion rates like? Take a second and just step back and think about what that experience is like for somebody on the other end of it. You might be getting really good conversion rates next couple of weeks while you're putting out these ads, but if your frequency is going through the roof, maybe next month you've burnt through that audience already, right? You've got to think about what kind of experience you're giving people. So I hope that helps you today. Remember, best practices, take it with a pinch of salt, go in stages, spend slower, just test different things out, test what works for you, try and zig when everybody else is zagging, and think about people. Optimize for people, not algorithms. Have a great day. See ya.